Welcome to Blender Basics, the beginner's guide to using Blender. So this tutorial is going to be split up into three sections. Navigation, how to manipulate your view around the stage. Transformation, how to transform, edit, resize objects, etc. And adding or removing objects. So the first thing we want to do is introduce you to the stage. This is the stage, the big dark grey area, and displays everything that you're editing, everything in your view. And when you first start up, this is what you're going to see. There's three objects in the stage: a basic cube, the lamp, and the camera. For now, we're not going to be using the lamp or the camera. We're just going to be using the cube and stuff. So the first thing I'm going to teach you how to do is zoom in and out of the view. To zoom in, just push your mouse wheel forward, and that should zoom in. And to zoom back out, you push it backwards. So just rolling your mouse wheel in and out will zoom in and out. To rotate your view, also known in Blender as orbiting, you click your mouse wheel in like a button and just move left or right, and that orbits around your view. To pan, like let's say you zoom in too much and you can't see the whole picture and you want to move left or right, you hold down shift and press in the mouse wheel button again, like when you're orbiting, except for because you have the shift button held down, it's just going to move left and right. This is called panning. So the last thing that we have to do about navigating your way around Blender is the different types of views, which is perspective, which are in automatically, as you can see up in the top left hand corner of the stage, and orthographic. To change these two different types of views, you press the 5 key on the numpad. As you can see, it looks a little bit different. The main difference is in perspective mode, say you move an object away from you, it gets smaller. As you can see, it looks a lot smaller than when it's beside you. But in orthographic, it stays in proportion, so no matter where I move it to, it's still going to look the same size. And as a beginner, you're better off using orthographic, because you can see the proper scale of everything and how do you size against each other and stuff like that. So if you're just starting off using Blender, you're better off going into orthographic. So again, you press numpad 5 to change the type of view. And another way to manipulate the view, let's say you want to look at the object directly from the side, but you can't quite position it just by pressing your mouse wheel. You can press 1 to get a front view, and this will let you edit just the X and Z axis. The Z axis is the axis going up and down, and the X axis is going from left to right. You can't edit the Y axis, that's because it's the one that's going directly towards you. So if you want to edit that, you go press numpad 3, and that'll show the Z and Y axis. So numpad 1 for front view, and numpad 3 for the side view or the right view. And if you want to view it from a top down perspective to see the X and Y axis, you press 7 on the numpad. So that'll let you edit the X and Y axis. And let's say instead of looking from the top, you want to look from the bottom. What you do is you hold down the control key and press 7 on the numpad instead of just pressing 7 on its own. So it's the same way each view, holding down the control key will give you the opposite view. So top is 7 numpad and control 7 numpad is bottom. 1 is front view, control 1 is back view, and so on. So we're on to the next part of the tutorial, which is transformation, how to edit your objects in a number of different ways. So the first thing we're going to learn how to do is how to move your objects, and to do this you press G, which stands for grab. You can move it around, but as you can see, it's a bit unpredictable. You can't tell if you're moving it forwards or backwards or up or down, etc. It's a bit unpredictable. So to change where you're actually moving it, like you can press whichever axis you want to move it along. So let's say I want to move it along the Y axis, which is the green line. You can press the Y key after you press G, and it just moves it along that. And it's the same with X and the Z axis. So that's the best way to use that. You can play around with that for a little bit and see if you can get the hang of it. So the next thing is rotate, and again the shortcut for this is pretty obvious. You press the R key. This lets you rotate the object that you have selected just by moving the mouse around in a circular motion. And to cancel a transformation, you can right click and it'll just cancel it, or if you want to confirm it, you can left click To if you make a transformation and you confirm it and you decide no wait that's not what I wanted, you can press hold down control and press the Z key, and that'll undo it. So the next transformation we're going to learn is how to scale objects up and down, and to do this you press the S key, and you're better off positioning it probably about halfway between the edge of the stage and the object, and then pressing the S key. And the closer you move the mouse towards the center of the cube, the smaller it gets, and the further you move it away, the bigger it gets. So again, you can play around with that for as much as you want and see if you can get the hang of it. Just by pressing the S key, it keeps the object in shape, but just like when you press the G key and then press X, you can set which axis you use to scale to. So let's say I want to just scale it along the Y axis, you can press Y after you press S, and it'll scale it along that way. It's the same for the rotation. If you just want to rotate along the X axis, you can do that, and again rotate along the Z axis, and that'll just spin it around like that, etc. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the blue, green and red arrows that are in the center of the cube, as you can see. This is called the gizmo, and like pressing G for grab and then pressing the key, you can just click the blue one and that'll just move along the Z axis, and again for the red and the green. It's a handy tool to have, and to change what type of transformation the gizmo is going to give you, you can come down here and you see there's like a picture of the gizmo, and then there's 3 different types of transformations here. The arrow one is the grab, or also known as translation. The little curved line is the rotation, and as you can see, if you grab them, this one's a bit easier to use if you're in perspective. You can grab them and rotate along each axis. So as you see, I'm rotating along the X, and so on and so forth. And the third one with the little kind of diamond shape at the end of it, that's the scale. So let's say I want to scale this up on the Z axis, just make it taller without making it thicker. So it's a great way to scale up and keep it unproportional, whereas if you just press the S key, it keeps it completely in proportion. It keeps it as the exact same shape, just different sizes. So now we're on to the last section, which is adding or removing objects. And as you can see, this little thing, when you left click anywhere in the stage, it moves around the little cross here. This is known as the 3D cursor, and basically what this is wherever this is on the stage, that's where your object is going to be added. And let's say you click like way over here and then you zoom in and you don't know where your 3D cursor is. You can hold down shift and then press C, and it brings it back to the center where it starts off at the startup. So that's how you get back your 3D cursor if you lose it. Now to remove an object, you can right click it, make sure that's highlighted. You know it's highlighted, put the little yellow line around it. Again, this is what it looks like when it's not selected, and that's selected. So to delete it, you can either press the delete key or press the X key and then click delete, and that'll get rid of any object that you don't want. And again, try it on the lamp and the camera. So to add objects, you hold down shift and press the A key, and you can see you get a lot of different options here. But if you go into mesh, and then you can see all the different meshes that you have. These are the basic objects, for example the cube, and that adds it into the stage. So that's all I'm covering for the tutorial today. I hope you found it useful, and I hope you feel a bit more comfortable using Blender. So thanks for watching.